Hello.
Hello, dear Forrest. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you, Max?
I'm all right. I'm feeling very, very Christmassy. We've got another Christmas episode.
We have got another Christmas episode. I'm feeling festive. I'm feeling. I'm trying to find a way to segue into the intro, but
It's not working, is it? It's not feeling.
I'm here too.
Hello, Shar.
All right.
You're right.
Hang on, I want to do more of this.
Oh.
I don't know if this is helpful for the stream. For audio listeners, I'm just trying to ruin everything visually that I can. It's really amusing.
Wait until the reels for the fun. Shar, tell us about yourself. Tell listeners who might never have heard of you before.
Well, I don't know what they're on about. Who are they?
Yeah,
My name is Shar Cooterie. I am a drag performer coming out of I've doxed myself now. Coming from Essex somewhere, a mystery location, and they asked me to do the podcast. And I was like, yeah, go on then. Saturday morning. What else am I going to be doing? What else am I meant to say?
The amount of editing I'm going to have to do for this fucking podcast.
Already.
Brand names, Coca-Cola.
Where's Forrest gone? Is he just frozen?
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh my god.
That's timely, isn't it? Because it's that time of year.
Oh yeah, he has.
We record this.
Yeah.
We record this on the 2nd of December. Just to
there he is.
Spoilers.
There he is.
We record this on the 2nd of December, and we've been hit by a cold snap.
We have. It's been really cold.
In the mysterious location in Essex.
You can bleep it out for us, can't you? You can bleep it all out. That'd be wonderful.
What I was saying before I disappeared on here, I think it will carry on the recording, but I was saying that the amount of editing I'm going to have to do for this next hour of podcast is going to be... I could just envisage...
Well, no, we can save you it, Forrest. For the next 15 minutes of podcast, the amount of editing you'll have to do for this 15-minute episode. Because that's what you'll cut. You'll cut the rest. So we've got that in just in case.
Yeah. So...
This mini-sode...
God.
This is going to be chaos. I can already feel it. I can already feel this is going to be absolute chaos.
What we're going to try and talk about today, and let's roll the titles 8 minutes in. Today we're here to talk with Shar about Krampus. Roll. Oh.
Krampus. Okay, so.
Ho, ho, ho. Oh, no.
Okay, Shar, first question. What made you suggest this movie to us?
I thought it would ruin your plan of nice Christmas films. You were like, someone's picked Elf and someone's picked... And I was like, Krampus.
Just completely out there. I mean,
It's for me. It's probably actually my favorite Christmas film at the moment in my life. I don't know why I made that really emotional.
Steve.
But I was doing a panto a few years ago, and we all hung out in this creepy little cottage in the middle of nowhere. That was our digs. And someone was like, "We should watch this film." They knew of it. I didn't. And I'm really bad at watching horror. So I sat there hiding behind and then I was like, oh, this is just a really stilly, fun film. And so it sort of prompted me to explore horror a bit more. So it changed my life.
Oh, how lovely.
Isn't it?
It changed your life.
The whole emotional journey around this film.
Wow. I mean, I immediately thought it was going to be completely gory, really like the worst kind of gore that I could experience in a horror movie, and it was nothing like that.
You're right. I messed up with my pick. I should have picked something
Because
different.
knowing you, I would have thought, oh, okay, she's definitely gonna throw in
Hostel.
something
Let's watch Hostel for
horrific.
Christmas.
And actually, I'll be quite honest. For a first viewing, I really, really enjoyed it, and I actually will put this on my list. Genuinely, on my list to watch every Christmas. I thought it was great. Yeah.
It's cracking. Is it high art? No. But like, is it fun? Yeah. Is it irreverent? Yeah. Is it Christmassy? Absolutely. And it's not, like Christmas it is my favorite time of year. Like I play a certain large red man. Well, I am a large red man. But I play a large man in red, occasionally. No spoilers for the children's out there. But like, it's my favourite time of year. It's my absolute favourite time of year.
Spoilers.
Well, I don't want to name the person.
No,
that's fine.
I would probably argue you've got very close to just revealing it anyway. I mean, I don't think there's many to choose from. But
Well, Ronald McDonald.
it comes out once a year. Yeah, true.
It's absolutely my favourite time of year. Like, if only because work picks up,
Yeah.
but also other stuff it's just nice. But lots of people have like family issues around Christmas as well. It's that age-old thing. Oh, I've got to spend time with the in-laws. Matt's nodding fervently. Oh my god, Matt, calm down.
Poor Rachel. Oh,
Horrible.
It's a trying time.
Very telling. But like, I like in this movie that they don't get on, and it's not lovey-dovey. It's like real.
yeah.
They have a fondness for each other, but it's that same fondness that's like, yeah, I see you every year, and we're connected, and whatever.
And I think I agree, because what's really nice is that doesn't change at the end either. So we don't. It's suddenly all of these characters aren't like harmonious, and we don't. It's not even got a positive ending as such. We'll talk about it specifically, but what's really nice is that family dynamic is always there. I wasn't so sure that this film might have blood and guts, but I was definitely worried about jump scares, and I hate jump scares. So through the whole thing, I was like, oh, Shar, what have you done?
See, I don't mind. Like that's what I found with horror. I can't cope with jump scares because they make me angry at myself. For
You go straight into anger.
So,
Come on.
I go properly, like I go, oh, for fuck's sake, and then I'm like, move on. You put really deep, horrible psychological awfulness or gore or whatever, like, and I'll manage. But it's, a picture of a bat goes, "Bleh," and I'm like, God's sake, I hate this film.
But it alluded to a jump scare immediately in the first shot with the old grandma. When she's kind of just there cooking, and her eyes turn to the right, and you kind of immediately you're put into that kind of, oh god, we're going straight into it, and then it's just a family.
They do a lot of teasing.
Yeah, they do. I thought it was really good.
Although, before we get to that shot, though, you've got the whole opening sequence, which is that Christmas sale and the nativity.
I loved it.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's like the opening, like Dead Island. I don't know if you ever remember the trailer of Dead Island.
Yes.
Where
I totally do. Yeah.
Matt won't be able to watch it now because he's got kids, and in it a little kid dies. But like, it's all just running and chaos, and it's got Bing Crosby over it, and it's such. It's just, for me, it's just camp. I use the word camp just to be like, it's irreverent, or it's silly, or it's fun. It doesn't take itself seriously. And this movie is absolute camp.
Yeah, 100%.
I think between the opening credits, the scene that we were talking about with Omi, and then when they enter and it goes back to comedy, I think for me the first 10 minutes are quite jarring because you go literally from like you go through about 5 different genres of film, and you're like, what? How, is this like a hot tub time machine comedy, like, you know, ridiculous physical comedy, and then it's like, oh no, okay, oh, we're getting some serious stuff, and it's like, oh no, okay, this is definitely not serious.
It's like when you've got Adam,
it gives you a bit of everything.
Yeah, you've got Adam Scott and David Koechner as well. Like, you look at those two and you're like, okay, this is going to be, already, you know, it's going to be funny. Both of them can do serious really well, but like, you know, which you've both of them got in scenes together and they're in a movie together, there's going to be those light moments, and it's particularly in that the first meal that they have. It felt like it was something out of like, you know, a Judd Apatow movie, like Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, you know.
Yeah, Step Brothers. When they first arrived, I thought, oh wow, this is like Step Brothers, like Christmas movie. Yeah. And I was like, oh no,
it's not.
No, it ain't.
But what's lovely with that Christmas meal is like, and you know, I like that dysfunction's at the centre of it, because I don't think anyone has those big family reunions. I'd say very few and very lucky people have those family reunions where there's not any sort of, and it doesn't have to be big tension or blowouts, but like there's always like that, oh well, they last time I saw them they insulted my banoffee pie, like there's always that, and just little resentments or slight grievances that just give it a little bubbling of tension.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't cast me in Treasure Island. Yeah, just, you know, small things that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you no longer think of me. You no longer even think of me as an actor.
Right, Shar, you won't remember this. I think it was probably about a year ago. You were around and we were in the living room, and I said, it was something to do with being at the Mercury or something like that, which is a theatre that maybe none of us work at. Bleep that out, Forrest, future Forrest.
Brilliant.
We were talking about being at a theatre.
At a theatre. And I was saying, oh, you know, actually being under the lights, my eyes had to adjust to it. And you were like, yeah, you're not used to the bright lights like me. And I was like, ah! It's like so shady.
What an icon.
It was so good.
I'm proud of me.
Yeah, you should be. It was very good.
Did I say it tongue-in-cheek? I must have said it tongue-in-cheek.
I don't know. I couldn't tell at that moment.
I said it tongue-in-cheek. I'm not having it suggested that I think I'm the shit. I just happen to be it. I don't have to think it.
Oh, so funny.
That's hilarious. Oh, yeah. You know, the shine has worn off.
Do you know what?
So Krampus.
Okay.
So yeah, lots of different genres. So the story, right? One, and I'm gonna need both of you here. One element of the story, I was like, okay, have I missed something? So, you know, I believe it's Max. Is Max the young son?
Lad.
Yeah. Now he writes a letter, doesn't he? And it's about it's a letter to
a certain someone in red.
To a certain someone in red.
The Kool-Aid guy.
And
dear Ronald, bring me my nuggies.
In that letter, right? So obviously, there kind of is an order to how the family, you know, they whatever die, or however you want to say it, they get taken by Krampus and his gang. And is it in the letter he's determined that order, or is that just a separate thing? Okay. Oh.
No, I don't think so. I think the order is just fairly. It's relatively inconsequential as far as I can tell. I think it just happens in the order in which it happens. I mean, let's be honest. All the kids get captured first because you can't have the kids swearing and firing shotguns.
Yeah. True that. There are parallels that I saw with this film. For a couple of reasons, actually. Have you seen Labyrinth? And I'm on about David Bowie's Labyrinth.
Yes.
Now, in that, she says, she's talking about the child, isn't she? And she's going like, I don't want you there, I don't want you there, and then they take her away, and then that's that. And that's kind of, and I didn't know if with Max's letter, it was a kind of like, I'm sick and tired of her, her auntie blah blah, but yeah, maybe not.
Well, so my understanding with the letter, and like this is full spoiler cast, is it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So my understanding with the letter is, obviously, he writes in the letter like, "I want my family to get on," and dear Santa, I know that Uncle whatever wanted the kids to be boys and all that, which is why it kicks off at the table, because they're like, "No, you didn't." It's like you're both playing American football and are very sort of butchly dressed as forced by your dad. It's not so much what's in the letter as the fact that he sort of gives up and tears the letter up and throws it off into the night sky. That's where I think that invitation sort of comes, as it were. It's when your belief dies, and you sort of get cross about it that you invite Rob Zombie in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Omi talks about it, doesn't she? She says, when belief and hope is gone and Christmas spirit dies, Krampus is here.
Yeah.
Question.
Says Shar. Says Shar. We're very similar.
What's the difference? So, talking about the origins of Krampus very quickly. Okay, so it's a German. Yeah. It's a German.
Eastern European. Like, it's a Germanic folklore.
Right. Okay. What's the difference between Krampus and Belschnickel? Because I thought Belschnickel was also German folklore as well, of the same thing.
Aren't Belschnickels like the equivalent of elves? I'm going to quickly Google it. If I remember correctly, I think elves are to Santa what Belschnickel are to Krampus, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Although I can't quite remember how to. There we go. Let's do Belschnickel.
Because Belschnickel decide who's been naughty and nice, don't they?
Yeah.
Which would be in line with Santa and Krampus, but maybe they're like a PA?
Is it, yeah.
Oh, so Belschnickel brings presents. Krampus only ever hits you, like
right.
that. Like in the folklore, as I understand it, like Santa would bring you a present, or Krampus will come and hit you with a stick.
Right.
Like that. That's the. Whereas Belschnickel seems to do. Oh God.
So I've got via.
Yeah, he's a man with a long tongue.
Yeah. But via Affinity Magazine, it says Krampus, however, is the antithesis of Saint Nicholas. Krampus is the half-goat character who goes around the world terrifying and tormenting bad children. Belschnickel marries the torturing and rewarding practice into one judgmental character. So he decides right there and then. I think there's a
difference then, is he's a bit of both.
Okay. So if you see Krampus, you're fucked. If you see Belschnickel, then you could be, here
we go. This is quite interesting. Okay, so this is from Jacob Brown, 1824, and he says that he did not hear of Santa Claus. Instead, so this is what it says: he was known as Chriskinkle, Beltznickel, or sometimes as the Christmas Woman. Children then not only saw the mysterious person, but felt him, or rather his stripes upon their backs with his switch, etc., etc., etc. He or she would be equipped with an ample sack, about the shoulder, filled with cakes, nuts, and fruits, and a long hazel switch, which was supposed to have some kind of charm in it, as well as a sting. One hand would scatter the goodies upon the floor, and then the scramble would begin by the delighted children. And the other hand would ply the switch upon the backs of the excited youngsters, who would not show a wince, but had it been parental discipline, there would have been screams to reach a long distance. So he's like, "Oh, here's treats. Watch me hit you." And the kids go, "Yay!" Oh, it's messed up. It's messed up.
Oh wow!
And from what that just said, his stick is magic. So he hits all of the kids. Belschnickel. It's all of the kids, but only the ones that are bad it hurts because it's a magic stick.
Lovely. It's what every Victorian teacher told their class as they
love it.
whipped him around the back. Lovely.
Yeah. It only hurts if you're bad.
Yeah.
But that then ties into that all ties into the idea of witches. You know, like the whole, well, if you're guilty, you'll drown. No, if you're guilty, you'll rise and we'll burn you. And if you're innocent, you'll drown. And it's like, okay, so it only hurts if you're bad, and then we do the bad thing anyway.
Wow.
We'll probably cut all this.
No, we won't.
It's
That's informative. It's educational, if anything. It's education.
That's
Christmas
right.
education.
It's educational. Beat children. It only hurts if they're bad.
Which is a terrible thing. As a parent, is a terrible thing.
One thing at the moving on. One of the things that I did that did make me laugh, and one of my well, I don't know if it's a critique. One of my early observations of the film was that when it all begins and the chaos starts and the daughter dies first, basically no other household for miles is affected by any of this. We see all the houses and not a single person is ever seen going, Christ, what on earth is happening here?
Isn't it like...
But I wonder...
isn't it just like a really remote house anyway? Because didn't they mention that in the beginning?
No, there's loads of houses.
They drive down and
the
they see loads of
boyfriend
houses.
lives 4 blocks away. The boyfriend lives 4 blocks away. She was just going to walk it. But I think that's because, like, you know, I don't think Krampus affect I think it's like almost like Pocket Universe for a second. It's like, here is this experience for you lot. It's not sort of I come and take over this bit of Earth. It's you come to my Christmas place.
Yeah, but then Omi's memory goes against that, because we then see a scene where it's about kind of society. It was like there's greed and there was, you know, we saw kind of societal effects and the reason why Krampus arrived. But
it was only her parents that went. It was only her family. Otherwise, there'd be like an army of children with bells.
Yeah. Just petals bumping up everywhere. Yeah. No.
Do you know why she's called Omi?
Right.
Why?
I'll back down. That sounds like a good...
It's just German for granny.
Oh, fair.
So she's just called Granny, which is very adorable.
That's cute. Oh, Forrest, where have you gone?
He's thinking. Don't worry. He's really contemplating.
He's left in a thinking pose.
German for Oh, it's that animation with all the calculations. She's like,
I was going to say,
and all the algebra appears around her head.
You're right, Forrest. You're back.
You're back, are you, Forrest?
I'm back. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi.
You couldn't see the forest in the trees.
Very good. That's a good bit of business there. Well done. There's a couple of Easter eggs to other Christmas movies in this movie. When the storm is initiated, there are a few shots that are akin to Home Alone, with the wreath at the door banging during the storm. There's a Christmas ornament, I think a Christmas Santa, that falls as well, and that happens in Home Alone. So there's clear little ties to it, which is quite nice. I don't know, did anybody see any other Easter eggs from other movies? That was the only one I noticed.
I only saw Christmas things.
Great.
That
works.
Easter eggs. Different movie.
Obviously, any gingerbread that has a mouth. Obviously, it was a Shrek. Yeah, reference there. Yeah.
Yes.
And they had. We'll get to it in a second, but you know, Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk. Not Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack in the Box.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack from Jack in the Box is clearly a reference to Tremors.
Oh yeah. Okay. Great.
I'm talking shit.
Oh. Do we have like a favourite?
Me. What I love about that is that me and Matt were so polite.
Yeah.
Like,
Great.
yeah, go on.
Just going to show how great we are, I guess.
No idea.
Yeah, great.
No idea.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah, great.
But whilst I must say that one of my favourite sequences, I mentioned it briefly, was Omi's memory, where they went into kind of animation. I thought that was brilliant, and it is so like left field. Like, well, this whole film is, quite frankly, but that animation sequence kind of comes out of nowhere, and it was great.
So
really
does her English.
Yeah, well,
as she tells the story. I love it. What an unhelpful woman. All of her family have popped round and she refuses to speak English. And you just assume, cool, that's just Granny. She speaks German. Dad understands her. I understand her. Fine. And then halfway through the film, I think at this point a couple of the children are gone. And she's like, don't worry, everyone. I've seen this before. It's the Krampus. All of this would have been helpful any time before now.
Doesn't Aunt Dorothy comment on that, though?
She does,
I think someone does.
She's
does
so
comment. Yeah.
funny in this movie. I love her.
Really
she's
good.
wonderful. Such a good character.
She sadly passed away 3 years ago. I didn't even notice. She's iconic in it.
Were you friends?
No,
or?
you should just the roles that she's one of those actresses. Like when she just plays one role, but that role works in every movie she's in.
Wow, drag her. Now she's dead. Speak ill of her. Lack of versatility. She just plays one character.
It's meant as a high compliment. And
sadly, she died, but you know, she only ever played one part.
Oh.
oh my gosh.
R.I.P. That's all I got to say on that.
Do we have a favourite line, everybody, in this movie? Because I got one. Can I tell you mine?
Go on.
Adam Scott's character, when they're outside trying to catch this ominous spectre, he says to I can't remember the character's name, so I'm just going to their real name. So David in the scene, he says to him, "You packed guns on Christmas." I thought it was really funny. Next,
move on swiftly, Matt, because clearly me and Shar thought that was hilarious.
So
tough crowd.
I don't think I have favourite lines. I just have favourite visuals.
Yeah.
When the angel, can we talk about the attic
yes,
scene?
we can. Yes.
Okay. Just to add though, favourite line. The one line that did get me is when Tom says, "A shepherd's got to protect his flock," and he's talking about his kids, and I'm like, "What a shocking line!"
What a douche.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, attic scene.
The attic scene. So the two girls have gone upstairs looking for Becky. No, something beginning with Bar. Beth.
Yep.
The sister who's already long gone. She's upstairs, and they go upstairs and find a bunch of presents. And then we don't see them until the mums rush upstairs to see a little girl being eaten by a giant clown-faced snake who lived in a Jack-in-the-Box. In what is genuinely one of the most disturbing creatures I think I've ever seen on film.
It is horrendous. Like it is.
It's so horrible.
It's obviously when it opens its mouth and it just. But also you got to think how did they achieve that practically? Like how did they do? Because that was all practical effects. That wasn't.
I think
like
so.
It looked genuine. It was terrifying.
But what I love, my favourite thing is you see that face and you're like, oh my god. And then the mouth closes and it's just this goofy looking dork of a clown thing. Like sort of wriggling about. And oh my god, it sent me. It reminded me of when Mr. Potato... I like silly physics. I like for some reason, physics being weird really sets me off. So, in Toy Story 3, when Mr. Potato Head sticks his face part on a tortilla and he's just all floppy, I was crying laughing. I'm screaming laughing at that. It set me off for some reason. And Jack in this film, this big old dumb-faced worm wiggling about, killed me. It's so stupid.
Yeah, I felt like that. I mean, the whole film is mental, but that scene was like I just went right. Okay, times it by 100. We're just gonna bring in like I didn't know what was going on, so I was just like I don't.
They had an angel hang Tony Collette with Christmas lights.
Yeah. and trust me, she did. What a believable performance.
She's incredible. Tony Collette's incredible in everything.
Yeah. It's what I mean though. It's just so not the type of cast you would expect to be in a film where there's a fucking
you see
angel.
Tony Collette and you're expecting like mental breakdown, hideous trauma, probably a child that goes like or whatever. And it's just campy. It's so silly, this film. And then, of course, during the attic scene, you've got the intercut between that and the gingerbread fight.
Oh, it's so funny.
That is my favourite bit. With at one point, doesn't he have like some
a nail gun? It's a nail gun, isn't it?
Nail gun. That's it. Nail gun. That's what I'm trying to say. That bit for me was remarkable. Remarkable cinema.
I mean, it's what you want from films, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he can't reload the shotgun before the third one. It's like, oh my god, oh, of course, the faithful dog is going to eat the flaming gingerbread person. Just gone, threat gone. This film also pulls no punches. It takes out babies. It takes out kids. It takes out a dog. Yeah. What film takes out the dog?
That's so true.
Yeah, I mean, also
John Wick and Krampus.
John Wick and Krampus. I think one scene that's slightly earlier on, but I genuinely was like, "Cry! This is horrifying." Was the chimney scene?
Oh my gosh!
Literally, I'm like,
it's how I'd go. That's how they'd get me.
That is meant. Yeah, food by the fireplace. Yes, please. Of course, I'm taking that. Yeah, I'm all up for that.
Do you know what I was thinking? I was thinking it must be like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, if that was me, that's going to be indigestion in 10 minutes. Having a gingerbread. That's
Christ, how boring your thoughts are as you're watching
gingerbread
films.
is good for digestion.
That's a genuine note.
Well, actually, if that was me, if I was eating that, I'd have indigestion. That'd be terrible for my stomach.
I thought that's a silly thing for you to do,
young man.
The only
chain I'd be yanking is to flush on the toilet.
I'd have been up at least 3 times in the night by that point.
Where we're going, we don't need toys. But a crossword book will do. I'm going to be sat there for hours. Oh, God.
But yeah, sorry, Forrest. Go on, carry on.
No, I think I said it. It was just, utterly horrifying.
The sound effect when the aunt gets pulled out of the window.
Oh, yeah.
Did you clock this? It's out of nowhere. They've not done any cartoony sound effect. And then suddenly she gets pulled out and it's like, whee! What?
Is it her or who decides they're just going to go out anyway? Someone follows after her.
The dad. The dad jumps. The dad whammy jumps on the Jack and the Beanstalk. I keep saying Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack in the Box.
Jumps on for no reason whatsoever. I'm just gonna go. I'm gone.
Isn't that because they take the baby prior to that?
Yeah, they do take the baby and the aunt at the same time, and he jumps on. But even so, it did feel a bit like you've only paid me 50 grand for this film.
Yeah, I've done
enough.
Yeah. And this is scene. I thought, and that was that bit in itself was very Shaun of the Dead.
It was.
I felt like the pub scene where the window gets smashed in, and there's so many moments in this film. You're just like, and they definitely didn't take it from Shaun of the Dead, but it did feel like.
But it felt like it was on that level. Do you know what I mean? With comedy and sort of horror and thriller.
I think that's a really good comparison. Actually, like this is like a Shaun of the Dead Christmas film, but American, which is not a bad thing. But
no, 100%.
Yeah, I'm sticking on to that moment actually. So I've got a theory with the baby. Now I think it's pretty debunked in terms of what happened at the ending, but at the time I was thinking that they were sparing the baby. that they took the baby away and they were just going to put the baby somewhere else or take them raise it as an elf. Yeah, like I thought it didn't feel. I don't know. It didn't feel at the time that it was sinister. Do you know what I mean? When they took the baby, it was kind of like, you're not part of this. These are the guys we need to get.
There wasn't so much a punishment vibe because they just sort of picked the baby up and were like, come on, let's go. Rather than like wrapped in chains or swallowed by a giant snake.
Is that because of how far they could push the film? Kill a dog, kill some children, but let's be slightly delicate with the baby.
You know, like, I think it's a silly enough film. They could have got away with like just turfing the baby out the door, out the window.
Yeah, true.
I'm not advocating for it, but I think they could have got away with it. I think they just chose against. But also, there's that thing of like maybe it was just a total innocent.
Yeah.
You know, you're just a baby dressed as an elf. Like, chill out.
Baby dressed as an elf.
Come sit on the demonic sleigh. It'll be fine.
I mean, I thought this film was nuts when I watched it, but the more we talk about it,
is bonkers.
It's absolutely mad.
Mental.
Yeah.
So all that chaos happens, and then we get to the end, where Krampus rocks up and gives Max a bell.
Yes,
like he'd given Omi.
Yes, and a very a moment where he strokes his face with a very long finger.
Yeah,
and he wipes a tear away.
He wipes his tears away. Yeah. Kind of like it.
Not much. Not really. What do we think of the look of Krampus? Because Krampus has been depicted quite a few times in the movies, and since as well. This came out 2015. There's been a few that have come out since that are a direct sequel, or a different project entirely. Now, I thought it could have been scarier. I don't know. Well, maybe that's just me. Like, the fact that it felt like it was a mask kind of made me. It kind of I disassociated a little bit from the fear of it, because it was like, well, that's just.
I kind of like. I feel like the design's really effective. I'll get onto a point in a second when I feel like it's not effective. Like, if we jump back to the opening scene where the daughter's trying to get to her boyfriend, and you see Krampus jumping from roof to roof. It's like, oh no. So when he sort of comes down and he sort of appears in the last like 20 minutes of the film, I actually rather like the design, because I like the idea that it's still in some way human in origin. I quite enjoyed that, but like also you just like, what the hell happened to this thing? Like, what?
Yeah, what?
Where has it been?
Where have you been? Yeah, but I agree. I agree with Shar. Actually, I think that it needs to be a variation of Santa Claus. So
agreed.
So naturally, it can't be too ludicrous. It felt very. I think it was very right. It felt just enough Clausy, and just enough like a hybrid version.
I thought they were going to go a little bit further with it, though. At the end, when Max is having this confrontation with Krampus just before he gets thrown in, I thought he was going to.
Oh, so when we say thrown in. So Max goes back he throws the bell at Krampus's feet, and he's like, I don't want this, I just want my family back. There's a lesson. I don't want this, I just want my family back. And then the bell, but rather than being like, oh, he's learnt the lesson, here's his family back, the bell melts through the snow and then forms a portal to hell. And we watch as Krampus throws the last cousin into the hell portal, and then sort of grabs Max by the head.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yes.
as you were.
So that moment, I had a feeling that Max was going to kick the mask or the front face. I thought there was something else within it. I thought the actual, I thought he was going to kick it off, and then would see the actual creature underneath it with the tongue, more accurate to the folklore.
that's it's that scene that I find amusing in terms of Krampus's design, because for some reason, inexplicably, his mouth is open that whole scene, just hanging open like a nutcracker without a nut. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm glad he didn't speak.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Like, I feel like based on how the whole movie had proceeded, him to be like, so what do you want to do then, Max? Would have been very, like, okay,
Cool.
Brilliant. I like that it's just this force that just watches and judges and does whatever.
Yeah.
And I also enjoyed that he then just throws the kid into hell.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't expecting it. I was like, "This will turn."
He
around.
goes, "Cool, bye," and drops the kid into the hell portal.
And then we get the scene. It was only a dream. It was only a dream. Max wakes up, walks downstairs. We get the signature. Yeah, the minute Max wakes up, I'm like, hang on a minute. Any second now, we're gonna get what happens in any film where they wake up. Someone wakes up on Christmas Day, or the family are downstairs, and you hear nothing, and then suddenly they turn on the volume, and you hear just all the preamble downstairs. Because obviously, when they first wake up, you have no hearing. And then it just comes to, they just walk in the room a bit, and then suddenly a burst of energy from downstairs. And he walks down, and then he sits between his mum and his dad. And then it's a lovely scene that turns into a not so lovely scene.
Well, is it a lovely scene? They're all sort of sat around, and then they're haunted by lines and things that they say. You brought guns on Christmas? Lines that they'd said the night before. And then it zooms out to a snow globe, and their house is inside a snow globe. And what do you make of that?
I quite liked that they doubled down on it. This is the lesson. This is the moral of the story. Don't wish that, because you never know. He might turn up. Do you know what I mean? If a kid was watching that, it might.
Yeah. How about you, Forrest? Because this is where we get into this theory that I read earlier, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, because I suppose the question is that snow globe, is it a memory of a time? So we've moved. So Krampus has moved on. So that's a reminder of, Max. That's your lesson learned. So don't ever go back to what you were, because Krampus is always a threat. Or is it? It's a snow globe, Krampus, lessons not learned, that you're tarred for life. I can't really answer that in my own head, but I quite like the openness. That's
sort of the crux of this thing. So I'd previously watched it and gone, cool, and then he traps him in a snow globe forever.
Yeah.
And they live in his workshop or whatever. But I read a thing earlier, and I don't know why it never occurred to me. And someone went, I don't think they're trapped in the snow globe. I think that's just how Krampus then keeps an eye on them.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. and that for me that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
And the reason maybe Omi's parents never came back was because she kept the bell.
That's great.
Yeah.
She accepted that it happened, which then means all those snow globes, if you go with that theory, all those snow globes are families who did sort of learn the lesson to stick together, but he's keeping an eye. The whole he sees you when you're sleeping.
Yeah. And I think that's probably the thing, because I think Max has learned his lesson, but has to forever abide by that lesson. And if and if not, Krampus is a looming threat. I think that's probably the initial thought process I had. I think.
That's great. I actually love that.
So there's no more kicking the shit out of one of the three wise men at the nativity. Because that's how this film opens. The first time we meet Max, he's having a full-on fist fight during a nativity play at a mall.
Yeah, he's not necessarily a nice kid, and I quite like that. He's causing shit in the opening titles, and he's also takes an absolute belt into to the children of to the cousins. Yeah, that's it. So it's quite nice, because it's not typical in that sense either. We're not met a really nice kid who's just having a bad time. We're meeting a kid who's, he's a bit of a troublemaker himself.
Mm-hmm.
Does he deserve it?
Who knows?
Probably.
There's no perfect people with like just carrying on through with Christmas spirit. Everyone's just it. As campy as the film is, the people just feel quite real. I mean, they've got unreal circumstances around them, but they all feel pretty real. Like, there's a wonderful moment where it's around the time that he's like, the shepherd's got to protect his flock, where he's like, I'll keep watch overnight. And then immediately jump cuts to him asleep, and the fire's gone out. And it's like, yeah, he's lost a lot of blood, he's tired, like, he would just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, Shar, we rate our movies with crisp packets. So if you were to give this a brand of crisps, a flavour of crisps, and the contents of what's inside it as well, what would you give it?
I mean, I don't know if you remember, and I feel dead smart. I didn't know about this, but I feel dead smart because I got the right answer. A couple years ago, Walker's did a Brussels sprouts crisp.
Yes.
And they were incredible. They were so delicious and not at all what you'd expect. And I think that is a very good... It's a twist on Christmas you wouldn't expect, but you enjoy it nonetheless. It's Walker's Brussels sprouts.
That's almost spot on, I'd say.
Ooh.
That's spot on.
I love that.
It's festive, it's to theme, it won't be for everyone.
Delicious.
Some people might absolutely love it, hate it. Yeah. That works. Forrest, what about you?
I've been looking for those crisps ever since, so if anyone can hit me up
Yeah, they're
with a
not
link,
out anymore, are
that'd be great.
they?
No, I'm really sad. I was waiting for them the year after, and they never came back.
Sucks. Well,
I don't think I ever had them,
you're not.
but
They were so good.
I'm definitely going to have them next time.
Just like umami and a bit of salt on the palate. It was well nice.
Go on, Forrest.
For me, I would say this is, for similar reasons, Pickled Onion Monster Munch. They're an outlier of the crisp world, but if you love them, they are deep diving into them, or you're really not keen on a Pickled Onion Monster Munch. I think there's no, it's not something that you'd go, oh, I'm in the mood for a crisp, I'll naturally go for that. You've got to be like, you're going hard at going home.
Good.
They're one where you sit, so you didn't know you were going to get them, but you've gone to the shop for crisps, and then you look and you go, oh yeah. Yeah, let's get some of them.
Yeah.
They probably appear once every 3 weeks in a Tesco meal deal, and that
And the other thing with them is when you have them, everyone else knows about it.
Yeah,
it's
so true. So true.
Mine
Matt?
are going to be Twiglets for kind of the same reasons as Ben. Shar, sorry. I think we've got sort of Twiglets on. Sorry, what?
It's not a problem. It's not a secret, is it?
Twiglets, Marmite. It's some people love it, some people hate it, and it's usually they kind of like turn around every Christmas as well. So, but I love them. But I've grown to love them.
I cannot bear
I love them.
Twiglets. They taste like ashtray. If it was actual Marmite,
The most accurate.
if it was actual Marmite taste, fine. But people just say Marmite because it's that same haunting colour. But it's not Next time you get some Marmite and get some Twiglets and try them one after the other and tell me they're the same taste. They're not. Twiglets are like burnt ashtray. It's horrible.
Ashtray. Twiglets always remind me of that Mr. Bean sketch. Where he is making Christmas dinner and then he doesn't have anything and he tries to find snacks. So he goes outside where he actually opens up his window in his kitchen and he gets a tree, drags it in, cuts it off, and then just like literally claims that as Twiglets. So they always remind me of that moment. Something nostalgic.
Yeah, that's industry spoilers. That's what it is, except they rub them in an ashtray.
Twiglets is. I mean, that's a retro. Like, I don't think I go many places and see Twiglets, but so they're always there at the finger buffet. If you go to a particular place and you're ending up with a buffet, that tends to be the crisp, and it's very weird. And they're not commonly out there. Do you know what I mean? It's like the finger buffet people are like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we like: ready salted Walkers, cheese and onion, and some Twiglets. Every finger buffet I've ever been to.
I don't know if you've seen the extended cut of this movie, but there is a deleted scene where Max actually keeps the bell, and as punishment for being the worst person imaginable, Krampus just gives him Twiglets. He goes, "That's worse than being thrown into hell. Have a bowl of Twiglets, and we're all going to watch you eat them." They're not even food. They're construction material for Sylvanian families and nothing else.
Yeah. You properly doubled down in. I think
I hate Twiglets are making me hate this film just because of the association. Matt's just checking his phone.
Matt
feels really sad for Twiglets. Matt's like, leave Twiglets alone.
Matt's just ordered your Christmas present, Shar.
Damn it! How did you know?
Oh, I love that. Well, I think, what a fantastic movie. Thank you so much, Shar, for joining us.
And for suggesting that movie as well. Genuinely, that is a yearly watch now. I'm like,
It's a cracking film. It's a really good one, especially if you have like baked goods. Just why not watch a film with baked goods? I'm not telling you what to put in them, but I imagine it helps. Chocolate chip.
Yeah.
I'm saying nothing.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, and adios. See you later. See you. Bye.
Bye, amigos.
Feliz Navidad.